The iconic comedian Jerry Seinfeld, aside from his legendary comedy career, is known for his stunning car collection. Today, we're going to take a look inside Jerry Seinfeld's over-the-top car collection. So let's hop right into it. Number 6. 1960 Volkswagen Beetle. From what we've seen, Jerry Seinfeld's car collection has all types of cars, but the type which stands out the most is vintage. The Volkswagen Beetle is like one of the most popular from the 60s. It was also part of Jerry's collection back in the day. One thing you might not know is that this car of his sold at an auction at a price of no less than a whopping $121,000. Jerry is known for auctioning off as many cars at charities, but the deal of his Volkswagen Beetle left everyone stunned. The actual worth of this car is somewhere around $30,000. You can easily get it from the market at this price, give or take a couple of grand, but Jerry got more than 4 times its actual price. Now that's what you call a deal. Number 5. 1964 Morgan Plus 4. Morgan Motors was quite a prominent car manufacturing company a few decades ago. In the 60s, they got an idea to make a roadster which would outshine all other roadsters in terms of raw power. What they also did was revise an older model from 44 and initiate production with a new model between the early 50s and late 60s. Morgan Motors also restored other models since then, one of which was the 1985 one, as well as another reboot in 2005. The 1964 Morgan Plus 4 in Jerry's collection has a beautiful ashwood color and consists of a 2088cc standard Vanguard engine attached to a strong 4x4 chassis with hydraulic brakes. Not only that, it also offers a 105 horsepower engine, which is impressive considering the era that the car is from, as well as a 4-speed manual gearbox. Number 4. 1986 Porsche 959. Another Porsche in Jerry's collection is the 1986 Porsche 959, the sports version. Although this car is relatively old, it can still go up to speeds of 211 miles per hour. The Porsche 959 is undoubtedly one of the most well-known sports cars ever made, so it's pretty clear why Jerry has his hands on one. Even to this day, this car is quite relevant. The interesting thing about the Porsche 959 that Jerry has is that it's one of only 337 ever made and put on the market. Well, it's actually 200 if you exclude the 137 prototypes, which, as we already said, are illegal to drive. The 200 legal ones, however, were known to be the fastest street legal cars back in the 80s, and they still hold their own in the present day. The reason this car is so fast because of the light materials that were used to construct it, such as aluminum. The Porsche 959 was truly ahead of its time. If you're already enjoying this video, do be sure to hit that like button and press the bell icon so you can see more of our content in the future. Number 3. 2000 Porsche Carrera GT Prototype. This car is probably the most, if not at least one of the coolest cars in Jerry's collection. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because only 2 of them were produced by Porsche and one of them is owned by good old Jerry. The comedian bought the car straight from Porsche in 2007. This automobile was designed as an inspiration from the LMP 2000 car and has been a favorite of the likes of Walter Rohrl when it comes to things like factory promoting marketing materials. The 2000 Porsche Carrera GT prototype is considered by most as a true piece of art, but since it's a prototype, it's against the law to drive it in the United States, which is where Jerry resides, so yeah, that's a bummer. Number 2. 2011 Porsche 911 GT3 RS41. Jerry's 2011 Porsche 911 GT3 RS41 is truly one of a kind. With slick intake manifolds, better air filters, and a smoother catalytic converter which cuts down significantly on the back pressure of the exhaust, this car can produce explosive 500 horsepower at 8,250 RPMs with 339 pound-feet of torque. The one that Jerry owns is somewhat modified, at least its exterior, which just adds to its value. It has a jet black paint job, an interior consisting of extended leather along with beautifully contrasting silver stitching and a carbon fiber hood which has been left untouched. The car is also signed by the head of Porsche exclusive, Han Mesker and Andresa Pruning. You're probably thinking that all of this has surely bumped the worth of this car up a few notches, and you're right. According to estimates, The car could be sold for approximately $1 million as of now. That is, of course, if Jerry decides to let it go. Number 1. 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Last but definitely not the least, we present to you the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Like, what even is a car collection if it doesn't include a Mercedes, right? Jerry's Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing cost him somewhere in the ballpark of $1.6 million, which is super expensive for a car of its time, but that is the case for a good reason. According to Jerry, the car is about as perfect as it gets in the sphere of classic cars. Even today, the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing looks like a total beauty if taken out for a drive on the roads of Beverly Hills. On one occasion, Jerry even cracked a joke about the car, showing him the meaning of life. So you can guess from this just how rad the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing really is. This was a peek into Jerry Seinfeld's outstanding car collection, and if you ask us, it's quite amazing for someone to own cars as marvelous as these ones.